Boat life in Canada. We got a bit of snow, and it's +2, so it's melting. But yeah, we had a fair amount there. You can see it's at least 2-3 inches fell, and it's that hard crystalline pellet kind, you know, and then layer of crusty ice on top. Anyways, we're getting there. Going to be installing the Lifelines today. Just taking some more measurements. I have to bring them back to get the ends changed because they didn't quite fit. They didn't quite work out as expected. So I'm just making some adjustments. Hey, David. Let's see that bilge. Yeah, it looks like a lot of water in there, eh? It's right at the float switch. So we'll have to pump that out. Well, I have my boot on, and I'm allowed to shuffle around sort of, but I still got a couple weeks before I can really start to maneuver in here. So, but we wanted to just check on the bilge because when I tore my Achilles, we had a bad storm that same day, and the cover, as you can see behind me here, I don't have a cover on anymore. So the cover got ripped to shreds, and we just couldn't get here to go deal with it. So my neighbors pointed out some of the problems, and they helped by tidying it up and doing what they could. And then we came back later. Jalissa helped pump out the water, and we're back because, as you can see here, yeah, we need a little bit more pumping. So we're just going to use the shop vac, and we brought the electrical cord over from afar. We had to do a makeshift hose because the hose broke here. All right. Yeah, and then turn the vacuum on. Okay, turn it off. So you heard that noise?
Yeah.
So that noise is the water's full in the bucket. So now you got to take that bucket and empty it out in the sink. So there's probably a couple ways we can do this a little easier to make life easier for you. So just put that to the side.
Water.
Yeah, just put it to the side right down there. And then do we have a bucket?
There's a red one.
Yeah. So just try to pour that in there.
There's not too much space in here.
See the color of it, eh? It's like a yellow.
Yeah. Got on my hand.
It's okay, you'll live. It's not radioactive. I know it's Hamilton, but it's not that bad. There you go, good job. It looks like you brought it down maybe
Quite a bit, actually.
yeah, a little bit, eh? Like maybe an inch. So you probably have to do that about 8 times. How's that feel? That's a big help. 8 times. Well, I got up here with my my boot, so it'll be good for next time. So why the water is coming in is that water basically hits the mast and then drips down. And then we had a lot of snow on the deck, so anywhere there would be holes like this, I took out all the clutches, and I'm going to finish that this area. This is all, I built this in to be able to put the clutches in place. So as you can see, holes just go through, and then it will drip on the inside of the wall. So I didn't finish threading those. Oh no, I finished threading them, but I didn't put the Sikaflex in here when I mounted them, so because there was still a little bit to do. So I want to give this a little bit of a hand sanding, last finishing, top coats, and then I'm going to put it in. Make sure you always have your hands on the ladder. We got the ladder tied up at the top and down here at the mid station on the swim platform, so it's secure. It's not going to go anywhere. Back on solid ground. Yeah. Thanks, David. Well, that was a quick job, but an easier one when it's what is it, only -1 or something right now, so that's better. And then that's all the water that's spewed out there, you can see on the ground.
So we just returned back to the boat, and right now we're putting in all the stanchions, so then we can set up the brand new super cool white Lifelines, because they used to be white, but then over time they broke, and then they literally turned yellow. So Dad got new ones this winter, and so we just came. We're putting in all the stanchions again, and then we get to hook up the Lifelines.
The drill's on an angle here, so I'm just gonna end up stripping this little screw. That's good. First day on the boat without my big boot or heel, so we're doing okay. So David's doing the last two there on the starboard side, basically getting them in, stanchions, and then now we've got the new Lifelines to sort out, so you figure out how those go. New Lifelines. I think we'll place them through, but I need to get, there's like the little line sliders, they broke. Most of them are broke, so the holes are a bit too big. I don't know what they're really called, but it's basically like a sleeve that you put into the stainless steel stanchions that this gets snug with. So these are all new 5/16 lines and new gates and everything, so these will hopefully work better than the other ones I had. So we're going to get them sorted out now.
Well, we put on one or two, I guess 2 lines of Dad's new white Lifelines, and they look nice. And now we gotta do the other side over here.
Get this back to the supply store. These clasps are shorter than my old ones. My old ones I think were about 2 inches longer actually. So what's happened is that with the measurements, the bottom ones just don't fit. The tops we can probably make do, they're really tight, but we need to fix those. So the clasps either have to get changed or something. And then another problem, maybe could you hold that please? Here's the clasp for the other line that it clasps to. And you can see it's way too tight, like I can't even get it to come straight on the piece. So this thing's basically just doesn't fit that. So they gave me new ones of these but kept my old ones. I think to save a few dollars, but that's not working. So anyways, I'm gonna have to get new ends there too, because those won't work. So back to the drawing board. Boat life in Canada. We got a bit of snow, and it's +2, so it's melting. But yeah, we got a fair amount there. You can see it's at least 2-3 inches fell, and it's that hard crystalline pellet kind, you know, and then layer of crusty ice on top. But anyways, we're getting there. And I think what the reason why they became up short is that my arms that I had were a little bit longer. They were actually double the length, so every one was a little tight. So by, like I said, using this connector here, I don't know what it's called, but it's basically an adjustable anchor. I'll be able to take it off and on then to put things on it if I ever needed to take them out to do some maintenance. I don't have to recrimp or redo my lines, so that'll be a benefit. Hey everybody, so made it up on my boat. We had snow again, but it's not looking too bad. Looks like it's already melted. Definitely got a lot of cleanup to do this as soon as it gets a bit warmer and the hoses get turned on. But the purposes of today is I got my lifelines finally cut with the last lengths. So you can see up in the front there, I got the front parts in, and then now what I'm doing is I just got to string this last little bit. So that's my goal. Don't need to work in the boat. I just got to get these lifelines in place. And why I chose to do the lifelines was that the jackets or the sleeve was pretty much broke in many places. And it wasn't falling off, but I could see that it was starting to rust in the actual wire, and so it's been there a while. So I just don't want any rust on my boat. You know, just it's the lifeline. If there's a weak point and I fell against it and it was rust and let go, well then it wouldn't be much of a lifeline. So it's not to replace the jack lines. I've got a couple of jack lines that I can run from front to back, from bow to stern. And then that's what I would strap into. So this, I will be strapped into the jack lines, but the lifelines, if I need to lean on it, I don't want it to break on me, and then I'll be in a situation where I'm kind of fell over and still tied in and whatever else, right? So it'd be a bit of a pain. So that's why I chose to do that. And then the other thing was that when I moved this part here onto the front of the pulpit, I cut the pulpit and then I relocated this joint, and it's about an inch or two closer, 2 inches. So the length of the lifeline was too long on the top. The bottom one was pretty close, but the top one here was pretty loose, and then the gate wasn't done right. And then I said, well, I got new Pelican gate ends here, which are so much better than the old ones. They actually open and close without fighting. And my goal is to, I said, you know what, I'm going to change them. Let's just change them out. So I feel safe and comfortable with it. And then they're also fully adjustable on each end, so I can always take the whole things out and then redo them. And I may want to, because right here in this little hole, I've got a protecting screen, like a sleeve that the lifeline would go through on the stanchion to stop it from chafing. And I don't have that right now in play on those ones. So what I might do is figure out a way to make my own little sleeve that I can slip in there. And I may need to take the whole lifeline out again and then refeed it again. But I'll do that in the water. What's going on, David?
We're taking out these wood pieces so we can epoxy them so they're waterproof. And this one was on a hinge, so I just unscrewed it.
Alright, so we got the table out, and we're going to get it fiberglass back at the field office. We can do that indoors. And then the table actually got wet over the winter time somehow through water dripping on it, and it warped. And I didn't have it epoxied, so I'm going to have to redo the tabletop. But it's okay, because I thought that was too thick and I didn't like it the way it was anyways. I wanted to make a fiberglass one, so I'm going to be working on that. But David helped get the boards down. And then I just wanted to give you an update on the, excuse me Dave, if I can get by. I just wanted to give you guys an update on the lifelines. Let's just show you how these new hooks that work pretty good actually. So we got them in on the way back. So I decided to go with this end here. The fixed ones that were crimped were too short. So just the measurements were a bit off, I guess, I don't know. Alright, so David's just putting the screws away into our little plastic container. And I'm just going to show you the lifelines. It's a bit windy today. But I got new lifelines in because this thing here was more forward after making the adjustments on the pulpit here. But this one here has a nice adjuster inside, and it's locked in place. I could take this apart, and then actually this is small enough to fit through the hole in the stanchions, so I can back that out if I wanted to do any maintenance or anything without having to make new lifelines. So that part's good. I'm happy about that. And then the other thing, these are the new clasps that I got. So you just pull this here, and they come right out, and they lock back in the same way. So way easier to use than my old ones. My old ones had this kind of the same sort of thing, but I had to pull it and had a clasp, and then you had to go and bend a piece over to safety to hold it in place. These ones here are built more like on an angle. I think it's very similar to my halyard, where it connects to the sheet. I don't remember what that's called, the little clasp thing, but it's designed in such a way that it's a quick release, but it's really hard to come apart, especially when it's underneath tension. Anyways, I don't know if you can see out here, it's cold. It's the beginning of March. We're supposed to have better weather than this, but it's been brutal. In the next 2 weeks it's going to be cold, but you can see the water just spraying up. It's really windy, and we're getting an east wind. So it's basically a wind that comes down from the north and blows east, or western direction. Blows west. So it's an easterly. I can't remember the terminology. Am I doing that backwards? Probably. But anyways, it's a lot warmer and calmer down here. And I was going to do some electrical work, but I think I'm cold. I think we'll just call it a day already, because it's a couple hours here and I'm already cold. But anyways, we got a lot done, so I guess we're able to say thanks for watching. Appreciate all the comments and heads up and thumbs up and everything else that we get on the channel. So and especially thanks to our Patreons for helping us out and for supporting and liking the channel. It helps us out a lot. So thank you so much.